Welcome to County National Wealth Management, our third video in our series for Social Security. I'm Holleigh Baker and this is Mike Jors. Today we're going to talk about survivor benefits, which can be a very tough conversation to have, but a very important one.
Absolutely. As you know, from the very beginning, Social Security is such a key bucket in retirement, and so this is another one that part of the Social Security we need to look at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when the spouse passes away, and what does the surviving spouse do? We have to take a look at what benefits they should take and how Social Security specifically can impact them. And survivor benefits are definitely different than spousal benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the key components would be survivor benefits. You can receive up to 100% of your deceased spouse's Social Security benefit. And this is different than the spousal, because the spousal benefit provided you 50%
Right.
of the higher income earners' Social Security.
And once again, as we talked about in previous episodes, it's something everybody needs to talk about.
Absolutely.
I mean, and death is something that it's a tough conversation.
It's a very tough conversation. So one of the other things that's a little bit different with surviving benefits is you can start as a surviving spouse taking them at age 60, where typically you cannot take your benefit until 62 at the earliest, 67 being your full retirement age. And then if you are disabled as a surviving spouse, you can start taking this benefit at 50, which is important to know.
Absolutely.
So as we take a look at it and we look at examples of the surviving spouse's benefit, we'll take a look at the chart right behind us. And it should be noted that we are using what the average male in 2021 would receive for Social Security, and that's $26,000 for the year. So if we...
Full retirement.
Yes.
Right.
So if we take a look at that, if they started taking their Social Security at 62, of course we know they received a reduced benefit. They would receive $19,000. But when we look at the example, it shows $21,500, and that has to do with the widow's limit. And there's a formula that goes into it, which we won't discuss here, but that is something to consider.
Right.
And then if they waited until full retirement age, and when we say the deceased, so 26,000, or if they wait until 70, we do know that you get the 8% each year, up to 24%. So it's an even higher amount at 34,000.
Yeah, and I think the key here, Holleigh, is to look at it and 21,000 versus 34,000. I mean, those pretty serious dollars when you look at it for just 1 year.
Yes.
But if somebody's 62, they live to 82, you're talking 20 years.
Absolutely. And so the conversation during planning meetings probably needs to switch just from when can I start to take Social Security so we can retire and go have a good time,
Right.
to what does that look like and how should I position for my surviving spouse. And so just things to talk about and consider.
And there are a couple options, we should look at.
Yes. So for the surviving spouse, there are options, as you said. And those options could be starting, for example, you start taking the reduced survivor's benefit. So because we know you can start taking it at 60 as the surviving spouse, perhaps you take that benefit and then you delay taking your Social Security until full retirement age, and then you flip it and you start taking that Social Security based on your earnings.
Right.
The other option would be just the opposite. So you start taking your reduced Social Security benefits, and then you wait until your full retirement age, 67, and then you start taking your surviving spouse's benefits. Because again, the surviving spouse's benefit, albeit can be up to 100% of the deceased spouse, it still is based on the highest, and the age in which you as a surviving spouse filed. So do you wait until your full retirement age or not? So
Right.
those do play into it. But the options are important.
Absolutely.
And it's important to know them and have those conversations prior to needing the benefit, and also with your financial advisor.
Yeah, and here at County National Bank, we have a lot of wonderful people to talk to about this and to get prepared for it, and we would certainly welcome all of you to come in and talk to us.
So we have one more in our series. The next, we will have a conversation about divorce benefits. So thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you, Holly.